Right, so today's review is going to be on the Bruce Lee playing cards by Art of Play. This is the version 2. Now, I've had quite a few requests to do this deck review, so that is what I'm doing in this video today. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. I'll give you a quick look at the front of the box. Let's just make sure everything's all good. Okay, perfect. So, here is the front of the box. It says Bruce Lee playing cards with him holding his fists up. That's Bruce Lee. On the side you've got Bruce Lee, same on the other side, copyright information, and it says Dragon Back and some Japanese writing on the top. And the back has actually got one of Bruce Lee's quote and a little bit of information about Bruce Lee. And then on the top you have this seal. Let's just give you a closer look. This is a stamped seal and it's got the yin and the yang symbol, which is a very good thing for this sort of deck. It themes really well. So that is the box design. On the inside you have some scroll work. It kind of looks like waves. It reminds me of waves. I'm not sure why. But that's yellow on the inside of the box and it is a very nice addition to this deck of cards. So let's get into the cards you receive. You receive an Art of Play advertisement card, and then on the other side it's got a bit of information about Bruce Lee. And then you've also got you got a quote from Bruce Lee. Most of these cards do have Bruce Lee quotes on there, and this is the ad card that has it as well. I'll read this one out, but I'm not going to be reading all of them because they all have quotes on them. It says, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." That is probably the most well-known quote that I know from Bruce Lee, so it is really nice that they kind of put it on an ad card. So the two jokers is actually Bruce Lee in action. That's him doing some of his signature kicks. Now, I'm not a huge follower of Bruce Lee, if I'm honest, but this deck of cards looked amazing, and I had the V1, so I had to complete the set. So if I do get anything wrong, I do apologise, but I'm sure you will all understand. I'm more of a card nerd. Right, so let's have a look at the back design. This is what the back design looks like. It's slightly customised to the version 1. The version 1 was the same as the Fulton's Chinatown. So it is a very nice addition. That is one of the main reasons why I got this deck, is the back design. It's also got fairly thin borders, so the design you can see, especially if you do a pressure fan, it looks a little bit more even. But not the best example, but you get what I'm saying. Now, the Ace of Spades is the only card in the deck that doesn't have a quote on there. It's got the yin and the yang symbol. It's red and white, and it's got arrows going around. So it does look very nice. That's quite an obvious thing to have on a karate-themed sort of deck. So the faces actually can all consist of Bruce Lee quotes. As you can see, they all are the same. Let me just zoom out a bit. I thought that would be a good idea. Obviously not. So they all consist of Bruce Lee quotes, so I'm not going to read all of these. I'll give you a quick couple. "Knowledge will give you the power, but character respect." That's good. See, with Bruce Lee's quotes, they have a big significant meaning behind all of them. So you need to really think about it to understand it. So if you think about a situation that's going on in your life, these quotes are very handy to look at, because quotes are very inspiring and can help you get out of that little slump. So there are so many quotes on here. I'm not going to show all of them because obviously it will ruin it for you, but this is actually a very nice deck of cards just to look through. Obviously it's not for magicians, but the back design does look nice for cardistry, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Some of his quotes are short but sweet. For example, "Don't think, feel," and "Be water, my friend," and things like that. You know, this is a really nice deck of cards to kind of commemorate Bruce Lee, and I think Art of Play did an amazing job on this deck of cards. But let's get into the handling of the cards. So fanning is very decent. It's beginning to clump a little bit after a fair bit of use, but I'm not really too bothered, and it really does pop because it's a yellow back design, something very unique. Also, I must mention the detail on the back design is phenomenal. If you have this deck in person, you will see so much more detail than on camera. So it is a very nice deck of cards. It's a very, very nice collector's item. So if you fan out the front, you're not going to see nothing much to see, because the indexes are a little bit to the right, and also it's not really a deck to kind of show the indexes. But they are changed font-wise, which is quite nice, so a nice little bit of customization to this deck of cards. It's such a thin stock, so it is very nice to do dribbles and springs and so on with. And also, if you're trying to get that mid-action shot of a spring, when you do that, the yellow is going to really pop for you, so that is something very handy to have with this deck of cards. So we've gone over things like just your basic stuff, your dribbles, your shuffles and so on. That is all going to work really well for this deck of cards. But there is a problem: you will not be able to do this for Magic unless maybe a theme party or something like that. But it's just you haven't got the suits on there, so it's a little bit difficult. Imagine going to someone, hey, pick a card, remember the quote. Not really going to work. But still, I'm not complaining. Well, I am, but I'm trying not to. So this deck is pretty much ideal for cardistry because the packets, the cards just look really nice in packet displays and things like that, because the yellow makes it pop and the whole dragon theme just looks amazing. I think this is one of the best back designs I have in my collection personally. I'd obviously love this back design with faces, but you know, this is a really nice deck of cards to commemorate Bruce Lee. It's a very nice collector's item, and it's very nice because you kind of learn a little bit about Bruce Lee, because some people have a basic understanding of Bruce Lee, myself included, but they've never really kind of looked into his history and what he does. There's loads of films about him, but it's just a really, really nice deck of cards, and it's very nice to commemorate Bruce Lee in this way. I think Art of Play did an amazing job, and the dragon theme is very, what's the word? I don't know, I've had a brain fart. The dragon design themes very well with this deck of cards. I'm just going to say that because I can't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, this does look so amazing. I can't get over how much detail was on this back design. And even in the corners, they just look really nice. So for farrowing, why do I feel like I haven't got a full deck? There's an ace. Right, we'll try that. See, this deck is really thin. It felt like I didn't even have a full deck of cards. So we'll do a farrow with this deck. It's not traditionally cut by the looks of it. So a giant fan looks like this. It looks absolutely stunning with the dragon design on there and the design in the corners and so on. It does look amazing, I must say. Now I'll give you a quick look on the front. I'm not doing the best job, but it's not going to look amazing from the front anyway, but the back is just amazing. So my overall feelings on this deck of cards: I absolutely love this deck of cards when it comes to the design. The design is absolutely amazing. I think it's a brilliant way to commemorate Bruce Lee, and I'm really glad they did a V2, because on the V1 you had this little thin black line and it just had the quote in there, and then the rest of the card was blank. Nothing amazing about that, but I'm really glad they've kind of put it on all the faces, and it just looks so much nicer. Also, changing the design from the Fulton Chinatowns was a very good move. This just kind of makes the deck pop that little bit more. I think Art of Play did an amazing job. This deck does clump up after a fair bit of use, so it's not going to be one of the longest lasting decks in my collection, but it's still a very nice deck of cards to have. It's definitely ideal for collectors. I'm sure Ashley's going to be a little bit jealous because he hasn't got this deck of cards yet. So yeah, that is pretty much the end of my review on the Bruce Lee playing cards. Sorry if I rambled on a little bit, but I haven't done deck reviews in ages. So yeah, anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop a like. It would be really appreciated, and drop a comment on what you think of this video and any deck reviews you'd like me to do in the future. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.